Hello, and welcome to episode 54 of Missed Mando, Ontario's source for the latest in the disc golf world. I'm your host, Robbie Holden, joined, as always, by my friend and co-host, Shawnee G. Galbraith. Sean, how you doing? What you been up to since our last episode? A quicker episode coming out here in between our main shows, so it hasn't been all that long since I've seen you.
Hasn't been that long at all, Mr. Robert. I was out at Christie Lake today for a little partial round. It's been too cold to get out and do a lot of disc golfing. So this was kind of nice out in the snow. It's decently packed down, only one lost disc. Oops, forgot ribbons. And had a great time. Didn't play the full course, did about, 13, 14 holes. It was great. I had a blast. It was really good. How about you?
I have been up to basically nothing. And by basically, I mean pretty much absolutely nothing. I went to a putting league for the first time all winter last week, the night after we had recorded with Holland Hanley, which I'm still pinching myself over the fact that we interviewed Holland Hanley. And then I've just been full on Olympic mode. The CBC Gem is fantastic. Got the smart TV app on my TV so I can pull that up quickly. Got it on my tablet so I can watch multiple sports at the same time if I need to. I am very passionate about watching the Olympics and anything international, really, but especially the Olympics and the Winter Olympics, especially, and especially when NHL players are back in the Olympics playing hockey. Canada kicks off the tournament tomorrow from when we were recording this. We were recording this on Wednesday. So by the time you're listening to this, when it comes out on Thursday, Canada will have already played and will have already won, of course. But very excited for that, and lots of good stuff going on. Big shout out to he's not a friend of the pod yet, but might be a friend of the pod officially coming up. But definitely a friend to I won't speak for you, Sean, but I'll definitely say a friend of me here. I'll assume of you as well. One of the nicest guys in the world, Trent Michaud, who is out in Milano Cortina right now, representing Canada at the Olympics in figure skating, and got disc golf shouted out a little bit on CBC when oh, why am I blanking on her name? Andy Petrillo, who's the host of the primetime show for the Olympics, came back from an interview with Trent. She just mentioned, Trent is obsessed with disc golf and has been raving about how it should be in the Summer Olympics. So big shout out to Trent for spreading the love of disc golf all around the world. I know I've seen when he's been at other tournaments in like China and stuff, I've seen him bring some discs with him before, and he's in like a little warm-up area just throwing a putter back and forth with somebody or something. Not sure if that's been the plan in Italy or if he's been able to hit a course out there. I doubt it with everything going on with the Olympics, but disc golf follows Trent everywhere, that's for sure. You actually posted it to our social media, Shawnee G. What was your reaction when you first saw that?
Was watching it, heard it. I was like, rewind. Hold on. Need to capture that. Rewind. My phone recording video off the screen as I always do with when we're dropping videos of Sophia or Chantel or Rebecca that would get on Disc Golf Network. That's just me doing this. And I was like, oh, we need to get that. And I was like, let's go. They said the magic words. Love it. Love it. So cool. And I love that on his bio. It's like other activities, disc golf. That's it.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Yeah, figure skating, disc golf, and Canadian chicken is the holy trinity of Trent Michaud things that he loves. And though with all the amazing stuff that Trent is doing right now, being at the Olympics and whatnot, I will just say, and I'll give a little point over my shoulder here to this trophy on my shelf over my shoulder, the Christie Lake Spring Fling 2024, where I won And on the podium with me, but not in first, was Trent Michaud. So I beat an Olympian. We don't have to talk about what it was at, or how many strokes and all that. It's just in the record books, I beat an Olympian. So yeah, full stop. But when I die, it will say Robbie Holden beat an Olympian, and that's it. That's it. But yeah, huge shout out to Trent, and we are going to do our best to get him on the podcast at some point to chat disc golf, figure skating, all of that. But we've got a fun show ahead. Like I said, this is just a quicker interview only. Not quite interview only. We'll come back with a little bit of stuff after the interview, but shorter episode coming up, but a great interview coming up. We're excited to welcome on the event director of the 2026 Canadian National Championships, Dylan Bressey, to the show. Great interview. And we will be right back here on Mr. Mando. Our next guest is the event director of the 2026 Canadian National Championships, being hosted in Grande Prairie, Alberta from July 24th to 26th. It's a pleasure to welcome to the Mr. Mando podcast, Dylan Bressey. Dylan, thanks so much for joining the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you. And of course, super excited to talk all about the upcoming Canadian Championships that will be held this year in Grande Prairie. But as we like to do with our first-time guests on the pod, let's take things back to the start of your disc golf journey. When did you first discover disc golf, and who or what originally got you introduced to the sport?
I came by it back when I was in high school, and back then disc golf didn't even really exist in Alberta. There were a few baskets in a few places, but me and a bunch of buddies with Ultra Stars would go out almost every day in the summer and play in a park, just doing safari courses of that light post par 3, go around that pine tree, then hit that park bench par 4. We would spend hours and hours and hours doing that. And we were all pretty evenly matched until one day at Sports Check, I found an actual disc golf disc. And all of a sudden, I could outthrow my buddies by about 3 times the distance, and I was absolutely hooked on the sport as soon as that day happened.
Did you guys have any? Was this in Grande Prairie?
No, I'm actually a Calgary guy. So I got my start in Calgary. My actual first tournament was the Falcons Flight out in Sundre. That was my first time I was ever actually on a real disc golf course, was to play that tournament, which was a punishing way to learn disc golf. But
I was going to say, that's a serious tournament on a pretty serious course.
Yeah, I often take off more than I can chew, but what I loved about it was I showed up and there was this amazing community of guys who, instead of this young whippersnapper who knew nothing going, what an idiot, they went, holy smokes, this guy's excited. So we're going to partner with him in random doubles, even though it means we lose our $5. We're going to partner with him to teach him in every single random doubles match how the sport works. And so for me, it wasn't just the sport itself, but the community that got me involved and hooked on disc golf.
And we know Calgary's got a really good disc golf community there.
Yeah.
So are you now based out of Grande Prairie?
Yeah, that's right. So back in 2011, I moved up to Grande Prairie. And as far as I can tell, there was nobody in Grande Prairie who had ever even played disc golf on a real course. But within a week of moving there, I bumped into a few guys who also were just playing safari golf with Ultra Star discs. And some of them had acquired some real disc golf discs.
And you smoked them.
Well, I think that they might have smoked me that first day, but they had home course advantage, but they became my community in Grande Prairie, at least my first community. And we thought really quickly, hey, we should see if we can actually build a disc golf course here. So within a few months of arriving in Grande Prairie, I went and I thought I'd ask the city for a little bit of land and $30,000 to build a course. And I thought they'd say no to both, but maybe if I asked for both money and land, they'd maybe say yes to the land. Much to my surprise, they gave me money and land, and pretty soon I was out there fundraising the rest of the money, recruiting people to design that course, and within a year of moving to Grande Prairie, we had our first course built, which at the time was probably the best 18-hole public park course in Alberta, because every other city was saying no, no, no to disc golf, while Grande Prairie was saying, we don't care if you're new in this community, we don't care, we've never heard about disc golf, sounds awesome, we should give that a try.
I love that. Which course was it? Is it still there?
Yeah, so that's the Thrill Hill Disc Golf Course, which is part of Canadian Nationals.
Okay.
And at that same time, if anybody knows Rudy Faulkner, who was a mainstay of Canadian disc golf, the founder of Falcon's Flight, he actually came up to design Thrill Hill Disc Golf Course with me, provide some design expertise. And on that trip, he also scouted out with me and identified the locations for South Bear Creek Park and Evergreen Park disc golf courses. So within that first year, me and Rudy had found where all three of the courses that we're going to be playing nationals on would be.
So for nationals, when did you start putting together like a local organizing committee? How easily did that come together? Like, is there a strong local club environment in Grande Prairie to draw on?
Yeah, Grande Prairie is a town that really believes in volunteerism and really believes in sport tourism. And so when a big event comes to Grande Prairie, people step up, and not just people that are involved in the sport, but the whole community steps up. So we got awarded about sometime in the fall, we got awarded the national championships. I'll admit I wasn't quite expecting us to get awarded them, so I hadn't started putting together a team yet. But within about 4 days of being awarded championships, we had an entire local organizing committee put together of key people in key roles. Most of them are disc golfers, but a few of them are people that have never played disc golf before, but they're just excited to host people in our community. And so they're stepping up and helping as well. So we've got a team of about 10 of us that are really dedicated to making this the best Canadian nationals that have ever happened.
Enthusiasm from locals in Alberta is no surprise to me as somebody that loves to follow things like, World Juniors and the Scotties or the Brier, big sporting events like that. Anytime a event is hosted in Alberta, it is always the biggest and loudest, most raucous crowds imaginable. So transferring that over to some passionate disc golfers is always something I love to hear. And speaking of your team for nationals, obviously putting on a tournament like nationals, it takes a team. It's not just you doing it. So who are some of the people on your team that have been or will be crucial to the event coming up?
Yeah, so like I said, we've got an entire local organizing committee. I'm a guy that I've got a lot going on, and I can't do it all myself. And so I've got a strong team with me. And really, I'm behind the team. It's not that they're behind me. I'm behind the team. We've got Greg Hurd, who's an engineer by trade, a disc golf nerd on evenings and weekends, who's hosted a whole bunch of tournaments, including he was my co-tournament director when we hosted the Alberta Provincials. He's my co-tournament director. He's going to be in charge of the competition side of things. So make sure that schedule, scoring, payouts, all that goes well. A face that many Albertans and some other folks would know would be Sam McCollum, who's the president of the local club. He's our events manager. And so we're really dedicated to this not just being a disc golf experience, but this being an awesome tourism experience. And so Sam is working hard on working with some downtown businesses and working with some other organizations in the region to give people some really great experiences to have every evening after competition. And if you show up early or stay late, some great experiences to have in the region. So those are probably the two main guys that we've got stepping up and get. Oh, and sorry, I also have to mention Phil Duffy, who's a prolific course designer up here in the Peace Country. Also, an even more prolific rock painter and Lord of the Rings enthusiast who likes to put some of that whimsy into the courses. If you go deep in the rough, that you'll find. And he's really putting together a really great team that's going to put our courses in top shape and make that on-course experience top tier.
Lord of the Rings enthusiast and rock painter. This guy sounds like he needs to be my best friend. That is incredible. I can't imagine just you get a little off the fairway, you're a little bit angry going off to find your disc, and then you just find a little Lord of the Rings painted rock hidden somewhere out in the woods. That would brighten my day up on the course for sure. Moving over a little bit more to the city side of things, I know you talked about the town and community always wanting to endorse and support big sporting events that come to town. So what kind of support have you gotten from the city or county or local tourism board? What was the response like when you approached them? Was it just like, this is a big event coming to our area, like all yeses, or did it take a little bit of work to convince some folks?
No, not at all. We are a sport tourism community that really values welcoming people here to compete. And so every single year, we've got multiple national championships that are happening in Grande Prairie. And we're a community that's got a full service airport that makes it easy to get here. We've got lots of great hotels. We've got amazing facilities. And we've got volunteers, donors, and community organizers that really do step up and say yes to any event they can host. So when we approached the city and said, can we have permission to bring hundreds of people into your parks? And also, can we have a little bit of money to make these courses even better? That was a pretty easy yes. We're just now starting to approach the business community saying, hey, can you give us some cash to give these folks a good purse, really great courses, an amazing experience? I know we're going to get lots of yeses there. And in a few months, when we start going out to the community saying, hey, we need volunteers to be spotters, to be registration people, to just help these players experience Alberta hospitality, I know we're going to have lots of community volunteers saying yes to. So it's an easy sell in this community. We love to host people here in Grande Prairie.
It sounds like, from what you're describing, it reminds me very much of Kamloops. Tournament capital, open, and the response from the community when, big tournaments go on there, you get a lot of community response. That sounds fantastic. Is Nationals going to be the biggest disc golf tournament to come to Grande Prairie? Or was provincials pretty big there too? What are some of the other really big sports tournaments that Grande Prairie has hosted?
Well, in terms of big other sport tournaments, we've hosted the Alberta Summer and Winter Games multiple times, and when those happen, you've got over 2,000 athletes, and they're all high school, junior high kids. So they're all showing up with coaches and parents. You have about 4,000 people showing up to town for those Alberta Summer and Winter Games. So we've hosted very large scale things. I know next month we've got Canadian National Wrestling Championship showing up, so we'll have about 400 athletes for that as well. In terms of disc golf, the biggest disc golf tournament we hosted was only about 130 people for the Alberta Nationals. But I know we put on a top tier tournament for that. And we had a number of people who are tournament regulars all across the country show up for those provincial tournaments. And they said, hey, to date, we haven't even seen a Nationals produced to this high of quality and to these standards. So we were really proud that, at least for our province, we raised that bar when we hosted provincials. And we plan to raise the bar for Nationals again.
I mean, you've got some serious competition in raising the bar on nationals. There's been some pretty outstanding ones in the past, and I love that you are trying to grasp that title, as every event should. That's great.
Yeah, and I hear Nationals last year were amazing. We hope to beat Nationals over last year, and I really hope that next year we get beaten too. I just really hope that in Canadian disc golf, we just see that bar go up year after year after year. And 10 years from now, I hope that the Nationals we're putting on this year are put to shame because the sport has grown so much in this country.
How many players are you expecting, more or less, at Nationals this year?
We're hoping to get 400. So we really are hoping that the country will take advantage of our full service airport and they'll come to what I think is one of the best communities to play disc golf in the country. We really want to, we've got amazing courses. We're easy to get to. So we hope that we'll have about 400 people come and join us for a week of competition and fun out on those fairways.
Let's talk about these courses. So, we've got a very Ontario focused audience, and I'm not sure how many of our players have been to Grande Prairie and experienced your amazing courses there. And you've got 3 courses on the menu. Now I'm looking at the disc golf scene, and like at the top where it says the courses, they seem to have different names than the course description or the UDisc description. So the first one is on disc golf scene is called Evergreen Park. Is that co-op community disc golf course in UDisc?
Yeah, that's right. That's the co-op community course in Evergreen Park.
Got it.
It's a local idea to make all our supporters happy.
Figured as much. So that course seems to be about 7,300 feet from the longs. What style course how would you describe it? Let's talk about this course.
So this is our most advanced course, and this one is all about course management. You're in heavy woods for most of the holes, and if you hit your disc, you're going to be going off course. But they're these unique woods in terms of their lodgepole pines and beautiful sand. So you go deep in the rough, and your shot's going to be punished, but you're not going to lose a disc, and you're not going to be fighting through thistles or rough. It's only your score that'll be punished, not your body or your bag that'll be punished. Like I said, it's all about course management. So we've got lots of long holes where you have to pick your gap, hold your gap. You have to hit good landing zones to make sure that you're setting up your second shot on those par fours and that par five. And so it's a course management course, but at the same time, if you've got an arm, it will give you an advantage on this course. You're looking at eagle opportunities on a few of the par fours if you've got a long arm. There's a couple holes where if you want to try going up and over, you better have 600 feet of distance, but it is there for you if you want to try it. So it's a pick your gaps, hit your gaps course where the arms still have an advantage. And the time we're going to be playing is going to be filled with blueberries, Saskatoon berries, strawberries. So it's also a course where you'll get to, if there's a hole backup, you'll be looking forward to it because you're going to get to your lunch while you're backed up.
It sounds like a great course for like a Thomas Gilbert arm.
That's right.
That would be amazing. Does it have a lot of elevation or is it fairly flat?
So this is actually our course that has the least elevation, but it's still got a decent amount of elevation. You're going up and down these beautiful sandy hills, and in normal play it's hole 18. When we get to the tournament, it'll actually be hole 15. We've got a beautiful top of the world shot where you're shooting downhill about 120 feet as far as you could throw it. So we've got one beautiful top of the world shot and a few other really fun elevation changes on that course.
All right. I am super intrigued by the description of this course. It sounds right up my alley, minus the eagle ability for big arms. That definitely is not a description for me, but heavily wooded, some shot shaping and placement stuff. That sounds right up my alley. The second course is South Bear Creek, which is listed at about 5,200 feet from the longs. Looking at UDisc, it says it's very hilly. Would this be the course with the most elevation change? What can you tell us about this course?
Yeah, that's right. So this has a few top of the hill shots, and every single top of the hill shot on it has an absolutely beautiful view of the river or of a really nice park leading into forest. So this is a really iconic course because not only does it challenge you, but also looks beautiful. My personal favorite hole is, usually I hate shooting uphill, but we've got hole 8 where you're doing an uphill tunnel shot. You're only going about 250 to 280 feet on your first shot, but you better hit a narrow tunnel that also gives you height control. If you're too high or too low, you're going to get in trouble too. So it's a really unique shot that you're shooting up this tunnel through this really thick forest. And then you open up into this beautiful park where you have to go through this beautiful park gap between two giant trees that are surrounded by mowed grass. And I love that hole because it's two completely different types of disc golf in one hole. And that's what the whole course is about. We've got a whole bunch of holes that are in tight wooded fairways. We've also got a whole bunch of holes where you're going out into a park environment and you're letting it rip. But on those park holes, there's none of these just throw an easy hyzer and you've got guaranteed par. Every single park style hole has a gap you have to hit or a landing zone that you better nail down. And so again, course management is number one on this course, especially if the wind picks up on this course. You can get into trouble pretty quickly. At the same time, if you're on the day you play it, it's double digits below par is attainable here.
Okay, interesting. Sounds fun. And then let's go with the third course, Muskasseepee Park. Is that Thrill Hill in UDisc?
Yeah, that's right. Thrill Hill. And it's named that because the very first hole in regular play, although it might be in the middle of the course by the time we get to the tournament, but the very first hole is this beautiful top of the world shot down Grande Prairie's main toboggan hill. And you're shooting down this hill across mowed grass and hitting a narrow gap into the woods at the very end of this. And from that hole, you head across a river that you're going to go back and forth over a few times throughout play. And this is very much a park style course, but a park style course that'll make sure that you've got some left to right, some right to left, some hit the tunnels, stay on the fairway shots as well. And so, like the other courses, it really does mix up the styles of play, brings a lot of variety. And this is going to be the course that our lower tier divisions play on because it is our most approachable course, but still filled with lots of variety and lots of challenge.
So it says this one's at clocks in at about 5,400 feet or so.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, do these courses, are they all multiple tee pads or like multiple layouts or what?
So if people have played them before, the answer is no. But if you're coming to the Nationals, the answer is yes. That's where we're putting a lot of our resource settings. Nationals is making sure that we've got appropriate layout, that we've got extra tee pads installed on these courses so that all the divisions and both the men and the women have appropriate, well-designed holes to play on each of the 3 courses.
So mentioning that last course is more for the I guess lower level divisions kind of segues perfectly into something that I wanted to ask about, which was the plan for which divisions will play which course. Or, will that depend on registration numbers? Is there something already locked in? Will divisions play all 3 courses or 2 rounds at one and one at another? Sort of. Let's dive into that and where everything is in terms of course play decisions for the tournament.
Yeah, so we are waiting to see how registration shake out a little bit to make some final decisions. The benefit we've got is in Grande Prairie, it's bright out until the sun doesn't set till after 10:30 on these summer days. And so we can get lots of people through a course while still giving people good rest and lots of time for practice in the evening. So we've got more flexibility here than you might have other places. At the same time, we don't want to clog any of the courses too much. So we want to give people, we don't want to keep people out there too late if they want to get to the evening fun or if they want to get out of practice. So it will depend a bit on registration. What we do know is every division will play South Bear and one of the 2 other courses. Our lower divisions do South Bear and Thrill Hill. Our higher divisions will do Co-op Community and Evergreen Park and South Bear. But which divisions end up at Thrill Hill versus Evergreen Park will depend a little bit on the registration numbers. It's those middle divisions that could go either way.
So with the sun out till 10:30 at night, I'm guessing you're not do have a lot of glowy side events.
Yeah, unfortunately, bring your glowiness because we'll have some hardcore ones, and if you do
Late
go
at
for
3 in the
glowy, you
morning.
just might see those northern lights. But the one downside of coming to the north is glow rounds. You have to be dedicated to.
That'd be incredible. Glowy under the northern lights. I can't even contemplate something that epic.
Oh, I get to play 4 or 5 glow rounds under the northern lights every single year, and they are the highlights of my disc golf career.
Never even seen the northern lights. It's so jealous. That's amazing. So what course upgrades or changes are you planning for nationals?
So the big one we are planning on is we're going to make sure that there's multiple tee pads on every single hole so that everybody has the appropriate challenge there. We also are looking at all of our courses, but especially Co-op Community and Evergreen Park on what are some strategic holes we can toughen up to make these courses just a little bit tougher and a little bit more punishing if you're not showing up on your A game come competition. We're also looking at some retaining walls, at a little bit of light landscaping to make them look better, and we just want to put them in the best possible shape we can come nationals. We want everybody to get to experience these courses their very best, and we're dedicated to making that happen.
Struggling with my unmute button over here. I am a total unprofessional, although for anybody that actually listens to this show, that will come as no surprise to anybody at all. But I'm also just getting more and more excited. The more we're talking about nationals and everything going along with it, the more and more excited I am to potentially make it out. And one of the big things that will be in that plan for me will be traveling to Grande Prairie, of course, coming all the way from Ontario. And there will be lots of people coming from all over the country, of course. So let's talk a little bit about getting to Grande Prairie. Just kind of what are the best options for getting to Grande Prairie? Of course, you mentioned the airport there. Does that fly in from everywhere across Canada? Like I said, as somebody from Ontario that's interested in coming to the tournament, I'm especially curious about travel plans.
Yeah, so super easy to get to. If you're an Air Canada person, it might be a little bit harder for you. But if you fly WestJet, we're super easy to get to because we've got anywhere from 4 to 6 flights a day connecting into Calgary. So if you're flying, it's easy to get to and usually pretty affordable compared to other Canadian cities to get to as well.
Love that. Love to hear it. And what about any like partner hotels and stuff for accommodations once players are out in Grande Prairie?
So we're partnering with the Pomeroy Hotel, which is one of the higher class hotels in Grande Prairie. So really nice, really comfortable rooms. If you want to have lunch there, they've got the best Indian buffet in town. And they're taking really good care of us, and they're going to make room booking easy for you and give you some good deals. So the Pomeroy Hotel is who we're partnering with for these nationals.
You're putting disc golfers in a higher quality hotel. Do you understand how high risk this is?
Well, I know that you can put disc golfers in the class. That doesn't mean you can't put class in disc golfers, but we're still going to risk it.
Totally worth the risk.
And you know what? We are going to have all kinds of other partners in the community. Like I said, we're going to be partnering with some downtown businesses, including the local brewery, to give you some good fun in the evening. So we'll have lots of places for you to blow off some steam in the evenings too before you go and crash in your higher class and your very comfortable hotel.
So with all this daylight well into the evening, what are some of the off-course events that you have in mind? Appreciate it's still early. You may not have them all in mind just yet. Are we talking skills contests, vendors? I think I heard laser tag.
That's
what?
right.
Tell us all about this. We're very excited about the laser tag.
Got to be with the alternative sports when you're playing disc golf. So yeah, we're going to have one of the nights. We're going to be setting up we're going to be taking over the laser tag arena in downtown Grande Prairie. So you can sign up to blast somebody on the.
There is a laser tag arena in Grande Prairie.
Well, and it's called Ace of War, so it's the quote-unquote realistic laser tag, not the neon lights and the junior high blasters, but it's the military-looking rifles and the let's get real tactically type of laser tag. And
safety not guaranteed. I love it. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, maybe if you're in first place in FPO or MPO, you shouldn't be going out there because it's to be war there. But if you can't win on the disc golf course, you may as well kill your enemies on the laser battlefield.
I mean, that's just common sense.
Yeah. And
what other than laser tag, what else are we looking at?
So
what do you have in mind?
We're going to be doing a day we're going to be having a skills competition where we've got a few special surprises for the skills competition, but one of the things we're hoping to add to that is we're going to be doing it right next to this pitch and putt golf course that we're hoping we can take over to do some pitch and putt style disc golf. And what's great about that golf course is it's a fully licensed facility, so you can have a few drinks while you do it. We're also partnering with Grain Bin Brewery to do a few events in downtown Grande Prairie where we'll have a good clubhouse for people to go and hang out, and we'll have some various little events every single night that people can go and hang out in the clubhouse. And we're working on a few other surprises as well. So we really are dedicated to giving you a great experience on and off the course.
Are you thinking about doing any like clinics or flex starts events before it starts and sort of the week leading up to it?
Yeah, we're just figuring that out right now. We think that we're likely to do a couple flex starts in the week before. We want to be careful because we don't want to block out the courses too much for people that want to get out there and do practice. But we would love to get a few of those flex starts, both for people that want to practice under pressure, but also because I know we're going to have a lot of local disc golfers who say, hey, I'm willing to not play to just volunteer for the weekend. And we also want to give them a few fun things that they can do before the main festivity starts. So you could definitely be looking for a couple flex starts. We've also got at least one big name that we're likely going to be announcing soon coming, and I'm going to leave that at that, but we're hoping that we can arrange some clinics or some extra fun with that name that's going to be coming here.
Wait. No, this is a show of exclusive drops. We've had We've had Anakin Sten release a sponsor name on this show. I think that's all of them. But this you can tell us. We only have like a listener. Like nobody listens to this show, I assure you. So just whisper. You just whisper it in my ear if you want.
I really wish I could, but it's just going to be something that I'm just going to tease your listeners with.
I assure you, you can. I like that you use listeners plural. That's very, very optimistic of you.
Hey, we all have moms that are very proud.
I'm going to assume, let's go with Nate Sexton, pride of the West Coast.
Oh, well, you're going to have to wait and see who we're going to be announcing.
Damn it. I tried.
Sean, really driving it home. But
we have these exclusive drops here on the show for our listener.
It's true. I can tell though that there's no getting through Dylan. He's Fort Knox with whatever name he is holding back. Also, watch out MA1 division because laser tag tournament. I'm going to be doing my best Barney Stinson barrel roll all over the place, and using kids as human shields and stuff. I'm ruthless. I won't take prisoners. I think it's got to be the most excited I've ever been for an off-course activity at a tournament. I will say, hands down, without a doubt. But Dylan, I've got maybe the most important question that we've asked so far, and that's what are you most looking forward to for Nationals as a host of the event?
I am just so incredibly proud of Grande Prairie. This is a community that I plan to come and work in for 5 years and then get the heck out. And I absolutely fell in love with this community. And the reason I fell in love with it is because I was some young Yahoo who was brand new to the community and said, hey, will you let me build a disc golf course? And it said, yes, absolutely. That sounds like a great idea. And this is a community that's all about embracing hospitality, embracing good ideas, and making things happen. And also, it's a beautiful community. Our parks are absolutely beautiful. Our facilities are top tier. I love Grande Prairie, and I can't wait to show it off to my disc golf brethren across the country. I just love showing off Grande Prairie.
From everything I've heard about the courses, from your enthusiasm, which is infectious through the screen, and everything that I know about that area out there, I know it is going to be one for the record books for sure, and an event that I've definitely got circled on my 2026 calendar as something that I have to make it out to, even coming all the way from Ontario. But Dylan, thank you so much for all your time. This has been a great interview chatting Nationals. But before we let you go, we'd like to hit you with a few lightning round questions that we ask all of our first-time guests here on the pod. Easy answers, nothing too serious. And I got a nice, big, easy lob softball for you on the first one. What's your favorite course?
Oh, that would be... I mean, my cop-out answer would be Co-op Community Course in Evergreen Park.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it.
If I am going to take one outside of Grande Prairie, I would say the Sundry West course. It just really is those mountains, the amount of times that it kicks your butt. My first memories of early disc golf. That's an iconic course in my mind, and I always look forward to playing that course.
And those are really highly rated courses, if I recall.
Yeah, they're both just great courses that complement each other well. And I mean, you also see them with rose tinted glasses because Falcons Flight is just such a top tier event where the community comes out, camps together, is professionally run. Rudy was also just such a big figure in my life, and I love getting to remember Rudy when I show up on that land. And so just really special courses, not just for me, but for hundreds of others.
Amazing. Next question. What is the hardest course you've ever played?
Oh, hardest one I've ever played would be on Pender Island during my bachelor party. Me and my buddies, we went out and we didn't play the classic Pender Island course. We played some yokel in the backwoods, put up a course that I swear was just designed to trap tourists and murder them in the backwoods. But it was West Coast style brush with 10-foot wide fairways and rusty saw blades hanging out of many trees. And the hard courses are always those ones that are neglected, but you show up with your buddy, they absolutely kick your butts. And I've got great memories on that course, but it wasn't a good course by any means. It was just hard for the sake of being punishing.
I was about to say, at least you got a story for life out of it. That's for sure. Next one I got for you, Dylan. One sport to play or watch other than disc golf. What are you choosing?
I am a huge Foursquare guy. I'll go with the alternative sports. You got that's up Prairie, and let's do a Foursquare I'm saying it right now. We're gonna do a Foursquare tournament too, and I'm gonna kick everybody's ass at Foursquare. I can't kick your butt on the disc golf course, but I can kick your butt at Foursquare. And holy smokes, now that my kids are in junior high and I get to play with them every once in a while, do I ever enjoy owning the Foursquare court?
You can certainly count on at least one participant in this tournament right away. Guaranteed I will be there. I haven't played Foursquare in like 15 years probably, but it was my, back then it was my addiction for something to do at recess. I haven't even talked about Foursquare in years, so I'm just blown away and excited now.
College intramurals, I started a Foursquare league and I was the champion, so I've got some college gate experience in Foursquare.
Oh, Dylan's got game.
Or I've got talk anyways.
It's more important. This is definitely the first time Foursquare has ever been mentioned in 53 episodes of Miss Mando. I love that. So next question. What song makes you instantly turn the volume up to max?
For me, I would say that would be... I'm a Queen guy, so anything Queen, but I think I'm going Slightly Mad is the one that the radios instantly go into max, and it just personifies everything about my life. I always feel like I'm going slightly mad. And so as soon as I hear that piano beat, I'm rocking out.
As a guy that grew up with my mom having a 3 CD greatest hits box set thing of Queen in her car that we would listen to non-stop on road trips everywhere, I 100% approve this message. Queen for the win. And speaking of road trips, what's your favorite place to stop for food on a road trip? You're driving along, you see a logo coming up in the distance. What are you hoping that logo is?
Well, if we're talking fast food, it's Wendy's, but I'm going to give a tip for anybody driving from Edmonton for nationals. There's this little place called the Rockford Bridge Trading Post, where just outside of Marathorpe, you're going to go underneath this really beautiful, iconic wooden train bridge, and there's this really old, sketchy gas station-looking store just past that bridge. The Rockford Bridge Trading Post, you're going to go in there, and it's decorated like a 1970s bar with wood paneling and a big moose head, but it's got these windows that have one of the best views in the Peace Country, and they've got super affordable, home-cooked, huge portion meals they give you. And anytime I drive to Edmonton, and I'm driving to Edmonton a lot, that's the place that I try to stop. So the Rockford Bridge Trading Post is the best road trip food I've ever had.
I might have to plan my trip now just around stopping there. I'm going to fly into Edmonton. I'm going to rent a car and drive the rest of the way and make sure that that's a stop on my trip. My interest is piqued.
What movie never gets old no matter how many times you watch it?
Interstellar. I had forgotten about that movie for years, and then I watched it with my boys about a year ago, and I can't stop watching it over and over and over again.
It's so good. It's a masterpiece of a movie. It's
extremely
confusing as hell.
Yeah, and apparently Project Hail Mary is just as much a masterpiece. So I'm excited for this decade's equivalent to Interstellar to come out, and maybe I'll have two that I'm watching over and over again.
Have you read Project Hail Mary?
I absolutely have, and it just makes me so excited for the movie. My family hasn't read it, and I can't wait to introduce them to that story.
If you haven't, get the audiobook.
Yes.
It is like the one of the best audiobooks that I've read, because of how with no spoilers here, because of how one of the main characters speaks, it comes across really great in on audio, as you can imagine if you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you read audiobooks or do you listen to them?
Yeah. Don't matter. It's reading.
It's
all
as
reading.
somebody that hasn't read or listened to the book, I will take you up on that and dive into it at some point for sure. Dylan, we've got one more for you here. The most important of the lightning round, of course. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
It would be the ability to reach into my pocket and pull out any random small object that I need or desire in that moment of time.
I love it. Just a Mary Poppins pocket.
Yeah, it would just the never-ending pocket of goodness. It would be awesome.
I specifically the superpower name, Never Ending Pocket of Goodness, I think is A tier, and Marvel/DC, you need to write a superhero origin story ASAP.
I may be playing a bit too much D&D some days.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at
Your pocket
all.
of holding.
Well, Dylan, thank you so much for joining. This has been awesome to chat all about nationals. I am super excited to hopefully make it out there this year. I will be doing everything I can to make sure that I am there. Watch out MA1 division, more so in the laser tag tournament than the disc golf tournament. I don't know exactly how good I'll be at disc golf, but laser tag I can hold my own for sure. But Dylan, thank you so much for all your time. Before we let you go, do you have any shout outs that you would like to give? Any final words, anything like that? The floor is all yours.
I just really want to give a huge shout out to my entire local organizing committee, the people that are putting a lot of sweat into making these nationals awesome, especially those of you who are disc golfers that are going to give up playing for the weekend to host this. Thank you to you folks, and especially to Jane and Mike, who aren't even disc golfers, but are still putting a lot of time into making this happen. I really appreciate you too as well. So just a big shout out to my local organizing committee. I really just get to be the face of it. They're doing all the amazing work, and they're who are going to be the people that give you an amazing time here in Grande Prairie.
Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. And there are few communities that live by that more than the amazing disc golf community that we are surrounded by. Dylan, thank you so much once again. Hopefully, I will be able to make it out to the Nationals and we'll be able to meet you in person. I'm fired up now coming out of this interview with all your enthusiasm. So it's been a blast talking to you, and hopefully I'll see you out there.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.
Thank you once again, and we will be right back here on Missed Mando. Welcome back to Missed Mando. Thank you so much once again to Dylan for coming on and joining us and chatting all about Canadian Nationals. Like I said a bunch of times, I am very excited for hopefully being able to make it out for that event. Laser tag as a post-round event at a disc golf tournament, count me the heck in. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. But we are going to move on now to a little bit of some local news and some stuff going on close to us here in Ontario. Shawnee G, let's throw it on over to you.
Canadian women's event series of tournaments that take place for women disc golfers across the country goes down usually in like May-ish. Sometimes a little bit outside of that, but usually May. And this year is no exception. There are, I think there's 20 to 25 events in all provinces, and I think the Yukon as well, in the Yukon territories. Don't know about Northwest Territories, but amazing. The organizing committee does a great job to really help expand disc golf to women across the country, coast to coast to coast. And they are right now hosting on the Canadian Disc Golf. Is it on the Hub? I don't remember if it's on the Hub or the Disc Golf Buy and Sell Facebook page.
I was on the Hub, but while you're talking, I'll look at the background for you.
Thank you. This is a big waffle. You can buy tickets to support this. And what the money goes to, all the money raised goes to help support the CW events across the country. Because, like, let's be honest, if shipping is expensive, and there are a lot of player packs that need to go out to a lot of players in a lot of places, and that costs a lot of money. And so the money raised from this waffle helps offset a lot of those costs. It is really important that we don't want the organizers to be out money, and we want to make sure that the players have the best player packs and experiences that they can. So they need to raise some money to help do that. Looks like you got the answer there, Robbie.
Yes, I found the post. It is on the Canadian Disc Golf Buy Sell Trade page. You can also go to just the Canadian Women's Event Facebook page, and you can find a post with a link directly to the post in the Buy Sell Trade page as well. So a couple different options for places that you can find it. I'm sure, I didn't look, but I'm sure somebody has it posted in the hub as well. So a couple different places you can find the link to get there.
The waffle closes soon, so you want to make sure you get your tickets in. Buy your tickets quick. The way that it works is you go on the post that has that waffle information, and you say how many tickets you want to buy. It's got the price at the top. You say, I want to buy 10 tickets, and Andrea Michaud will say, okay, you got tickets number 41 to 50 or whatever it is. You then e-transfer the money for those tickets to her, and you are in. I think the drawing is happening soon, very soon. I'm going to release this episode as soon as I can, and to make sure that you, my dear listener, has enough time to buy your tickets. Again, this is a fantastic cause, and they need they want to try and at least match their goal of last year. I think last year they sold like 1,200 tickets or something, and they hopefully they can do it. They got a lot of amazing discs available to be won. I'm going to donate a couple. Some other people have donated some. There's some nice signed discs. There's a great one from Kristen Latt. I thought I saw a Deanne Carey signed disc. I'm going to figure out which one that I've got signed here in the racks, and some other ones to donate to make sure that there's a well-stocked raffle. So jump online, get your tickets soon, support CWE and women's disc golf in Canada, and let's go.
So 100% get on that, support women's disc golf. And you have until February 13th at midnight to enter for this. So if we are able to get this out tomorrow from when we're recording on the 12th, Thursday, like we normally do our releases, then we will get this out in time for some people to jump on that, and we will post it on our social media as well. Maybe we can get a link to the actual post as well, so people can just see our post, hit the link, and automatically get there. But yeah, definitely lots of great prizes to be won in that while supporting a great cause. So what's to lose there? It is an absolute win-win. That is going to do it for us here on Missed Mando, unless you have anything else to add, Shawnee G. Yeah, we got a nice shorter episode here. Let's wrap a bow on it. And that's going to do it for us here on Missed Mando. We will be back hopefully next week, back with Galen again, doing our 2026 fantasy team draft. So tune in for that. And until then, this has been Missed Mando. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you out on the course.